Hi everyone, welcome back to another review video. Today I'll be reviewing my STIHL hs45 handheld hedge. So this has got 22-inch blades on it. You can also get it with 18-inch blades, but I went for the 22, which is incredibly handy when you're trimming large hedges and shrubs. It's handy just to have that little bit of extra reach, really. So that's good. So the price for this is actually very good. I'll just pull up the price quickly. You'd be surprised by how cheap this engine is actually, and I was surprised by how powerful it was when I used it for the first couple of times. For the price point, it's ridiculously powerful. It's really, really good. Another piece of equipment that I'm going to recommend for sure. So the price for this, with the 22-inch blades, is £200 exact, pretty much. So exactly 200 quid for this, which I think is an absolute bargain. It's a ridiculously cheap price for it because it's such a brilliant hedge trimmer. So I'll quickly talk you through the specs. Unfortunately, you can't get a tip protector for the blades, which is a bit of a pain when working close to the floor, but it is what it is. The tooth gap is 30mm, so not the biggest, but it can get through. I've actually cut some ridiculously big branches with it, which you're not supposed to, but it will go through some ridiculously thick branches. I have got the chainsaw for the combi, but I haven't needed it sometimes because this will just cut through it. It's ridiculously powerful. Sorry, not 22-inch, 24-inch blades it's got on it, so a little bit bigger. The weight, it is quite heavy, I'm not going to lie, it is heavy. It's 5 kilograms, so it's not the lightest hedge trimmer out there. It's still lighter than the cheaper ones you can get off eBay though, so that's good. Fixed handle on the back, so it doesn't rotate, so if you want to do sides of hedges, it won't rotate. So blade stroke is 3,800 strokes per minute. Engine power, 1 horsepower, so it's not particularly powerful, but it is, if that makes sense. The engine power isn't a lot, but it has got a lot of power for such a small engine. So it's got recoil with elasto start, so it is fairly easy to start. It does take a little bit, you've got to be fairly strong though to get it to start. It's not the easiest engine to start in the world, but it is STIHL's bottom of the range petrol hedge trimmer, so it's not top of the range like everything else I have. So a 27.2cc engine, so it is quite powerful actually. About the same as the 86 power-wise, and a 2-year domestic warranty. So those are the specs of it. Like I said, 200. So I'll run you through some of the features. So deadman and throttle, super easy to use. You're not going to get your hand caught on or anything there yourself. It's nice and user friendly. On-off switch, so you have got to be a little bit careful that you don't accidentally switch it off and then try and start it and then wonder why it's not starting. That's probably the only thing I would change on this, is just an auto return stop switch, but the cheapest hedge trimmer, so can't have all nicer stuff. Throttle lockout for when you're starting it. Probably could use that as cruise control if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend it. That just makes it easier to start. Choke. The choke is, can't see it, here. So you just push that down, and that's in the choke, and then up for a run, which it's not an auto return, so you have got to do it manually. The primer bulb's in there as well. See better. There, primer bulb's there. It doesn't give you the most amount of room, but it gives you enough room to do it, obviously. Nice easy access to our filter. Spark plug is here. A little bit more difficult to get to change spark plug, but it's not too bad at all. It's fairly easy to do. Fuel tank. That's another fuel tank as well. That's the fuel tank. That's all you get. So the fuel tank is one thing I would make bigger, but obviously it already weighs 5 kilograms as it is. So it's a difficult battle between keeping the weight down and then, you know, putting the right size fuel tank on. So, but it does last a while though. But this is the machine I have to keep refilling the most. But if you get the quick fill nozzle for the STIHL cans, it's really not that difficult at all. Like, for example, I was using it the other day and I ran out of fuel, so I just quickly got off the ladder, got the can, filled it up. You know, within a minute I was back on the ladder cutting again. So it's super easy to do with the quick fill nozzle, and it's not a big issue. You know, it's easy, fairly easy to get the cap off, and it has enough size fuel tank for you to get a decent amount of work done. To be honest with you, it's just not going to last as long as some other machines, but you know, it is what it is. It's not too bad at all. Grease point is here. It's for the blade, so you just undo that and grease it. Another super quick, easy job to do that a lot of companies don't do. They don't take care of the machines, which it's so quick and easy. I don't understand why you wouldn't, because it's so quick and easy to service the machine. Handle, not rubber, just plastic, but this one does have a bit of give to it for vibrations, which is good. There's not much else to say really. It's got a hook there. It's got a little hook thing, so you can put it on the wall. So I hang it on the wall, which is quite handy for storage. Nice big guard on it, which is nice and easy to put on. So yeah, there's not much else to talk about really. If you're getting into, if you're doing garden maintenance or definitely a homeowner, this is definitely, I'd definitely recommend it. It is another bit of kit that has never let me down actually. The only problem I've ever had with it, which actually happened a couple of days ago actually when I was using it on a job, is I somehow managed to bend the blades. So the blades got a bit bent and the vibrations were pretty bad. That's how I first noticed I'd done it. Vibrations were pretty bad and it made a bit of a weird clonking noise. But when I used it today actually, it seems to have straightened itself out. So I'm not sure how, but somehow the STIHL have designed machines that if they do go wrong, tend to fix themselves, which is quite good. So yeah, the only problem, so the only downsides with this machine is doesn't have an auto return stop on off switch, but every time I use it and turn it off, as soon as the engine dies, you know, turns off, or immediately put it straight back onto the start position. That way I know every time I come to use it again, if I put it down, you know, to move some branches and turn it off, that I can come back to it and know that as soon as I pull the cord it will start, because I've left it on the run position. If you can do that, it doesn't really make a difference that it's not an auto return at all really. I think only once I've left it in the off position and tried to start it, only once, so that's pretty good. I got this last year, sort of start of last year, so it's probably about a year old, maybe 11 months, 12 months old. But yeah, it's a brilliant hedge trimmer, it really is. What would make me give it probably 10 stars out of 10 is just a slightly bigger fuel tank and auto return on off switch really. That's it really, everything else with it is perfect, and it starts first pull every time. To get it going initially from cold requires probably about 5 pulls, but it will then go from cold first pull, second pull every time pretty much. So it's super easy to start as well. So yeah, another brilliant bit of kit that I would definitely recommend. And for £200, I mean, it's a bit of a bargain really, a bit of a no-brainer, because it's just so brilliant. There are so many little things on it. that make good, and then the amount of power. I'll have to show you guys at some point, get some footage of it going through some really thick branches, because the power has just ridiculous. It's really, really powerful. It will go through some really thick stuff, so I definitely recommend it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.